was a time when summer was served in 28 flavors. Howard Johnson's ice cream and restaurants were everywhere.
On the road around the corner, here's the place to go. The orange roof of Howard Johnson's. Join the folks who know. Good food.
50 years ago, Hojo's rivaled Coca Cola as the most recognizable company in America. When I was a boy growing up here in St. Louis, Howard Johnson's sales exceeded McDonald's, Burger King, and Kentucky Fried Chicken combined. By the late 1970s, there were about 1,000 Hojo's restaurants. Only the U.S. Army served more Americans.
Imagine your own birthday party under the orange roof.
You went for the birthday cake. Remember the little chocolate cake we used to have with the candles?
And waitresses like Marilyn Viner.
These are our fabulous ice cream sodas.
Who called you,
Thank you, Cal.
Hun. How about the saltwater taffy? And the fried clams?
Isn't that delicious? Looks so good.
They still serve Hojo's famous hot dogs here in St. Petersburg, Florida. Famous not for the hot dog, but for its buttery roll that comes in a paper boat. At Times Square in New York City, Simple Simon still welcomes families. The Howard Johnson logo is the same.
Good ice cream.
But those 28 flavors of ice cream we remember have now dwindled to 21. Hojo's famous orange roofs are disappearing too. This is the last of the Howard Johnson's restaurants in the state where it all began, Greenfield, Massachusetts. The others didn't just fade away. The company was sold several times, finally ending up with Marriott, which quickly closed hundreds of Hojo's restaurants and then reopened them as Bob's Big Boys. Now, only 26 of these old hosts of the highways remain.
This is just waiting for French fries, right?
It is very sad. But we're here, and I'm sure until he takes his dying breath, we'll be here.
Because Milt Borofsky's place in Massachusetts has done good business for 35 years.
If I got anything coming, Clyde, for me?
Even though he didn't always follow the original Howard Johnson's advice.
He'd come into a restaurant and ask the manager, do you have enough waitresses? And they'd say yes. She'd get rid of 2. And that's how he reduced his expenses all the time.
Howard Johnson lived his early years under a mountain of debt until he took over his father's ice cream counter in Quincy, Massachusetts. To tempt more customers, he doubled the fat content in the ice cream and sold $60,000 worth in one summer at a nickel a scoop.
When he didn't have enough money to expend himself, he came up with the idea of selling his name and the use of his name and having people buy the products.
To open their own restaurants. He designed the space, created the menu, delivered the food.
Under the orange roof at Howard Johnson's, there's more to be hungry for.
Howard Johnson's, they've got more, they've got more.
Howard Johnson's remarkable idea, the restaurant franchise, forever changed the way the world does business.
American Eagle.
When you come into Howard Johnson's with Mom or Dad, remember to say the secret password.
American Rainbow. Right.
You get all these wonderful things for free. A free dish.
His blueprint showed others how to make money too.
And look, an exciting special pot of gold game to play too.
Ironically, that competition has killed all but the hardiest of the Hojo restaurants. Howard Johnson did have another business.
162.
Hotels.
I have his card right here.
About 500 still bear his name. But Dana Cutts and her husband Paul had to travel from Houston, Texas to Times Square to taste a Hojo's cone.
This is childhood. This is chocolate chip ice cream cones and sugar cones. This is what I live for.
We were going to be late for the play, but we went to Howard Johnson. She didn't care whether we were late for the play, as long as she got her ice cream cone.
I want some peppermint stick. I love some pizza. I want pistachio nuts.
Do you know what it feels like to be plain old vanilla?
Vanilla's fine when it's served with delicious memories.
When you're plain old vanilla at Howard Johnson's, how you gonna whip chocolate chip?
How often in life were you offered an unlimited choice? All good.
You got pistachio nut. Butter crunch, banana, burgundy, cherry, coconut, caramel, black raspberry, Swiss chocolate, almond, apple, strudel. It's enough to drive you off your noodle.
So forget the sad faces. Hojo's is still around to celebrate at 75.
Vanilla is the loneliest flavor under the orange roof.
For today, Bob Dotson, NBC News, New York.